On the other hand, subtle unnaturalness includes too many fillers or disfluency, pragmatics, etc. Since this type of unnaturalness is not a clear type of errors or deviations, it sounds unnatural only sometimes to some people. Some native speakers highlighted almost all the occurrences of the same filler or the same type of disfluency, while others did not highlight any of them. This suggests that the frequent use itself causes unnaturalness, not the inappropriate usage. This type of unnaturalness insistently influences native speakers' judgment of native-like speech even after listening. Okay. Finally, let me conclude this study according to the 3 research questions. Number 1, does native Japanese speakers' perception agree with grammaticality? Not always. Although native speakers easily find non-native speakers' grammar errors and unnatural pronunciation, such errors do not always affect native speaker judgment of native-like speech, as long as they do not ruin the smooth interaction and communication. However, if the proportion of such errors is high, their judgment may be affected. Number 2, does their perception focus on pronunciation? No. It seems that Japanese native speakers do not care much about unnatural pronunciation and code mixing. Some non-native speakers include code mixing in their speech, but Japanese native speakers didn't care about that. As long as they can understand, but it is as long as they can understand what the non-native speaker wants to say. Research question 3, are there any other important points? From factor analysis, it was found that the most influential factor should be the interaction-related factors. This was also supported by concordance analysis in that this fluency had a more significant correlation with ranking than grammar and pronunciation. Taking a closer look at the interaction-related factors, the interactional productional factor is concerned with the smooth flow of speech, and the interactional cognitive factor includes comprehension and attitude. Therefore, the most important points for native-like speech are to keep the smooth flow of interaction without too many fillers and pauses and disfluencies, and second is to try to maintain the mutual comprehension during conversation. So grammar errors and unnatural pronunciation should be okay, as long as they do not damage the mutual comprehension. Thank you for listening.
We're now open for questions and discussion from the public. It seems like in this case, pronunciation was not that big of a factor, so that might.
But I think it's because Japanese pronunciation is not so difficult, not so complicated, unlike the English pronunciation. Japanese vowels is only 5. I-U-L, and the consonant is also not so different. And there are a lot of dialects in Japan, which is actually high-low pitch are sometimes different. So, and also I think Japanese people are kind of generous. And they're non-native speakers speak. So I think the attitude. So yes, Japanese people, very often welcome non-native speakers speaking Japanese. So I think that's one of the factors.
Thank you for this. It's beautiful. But I have a question. You mentioned that they pay attention to the content and the fillers. What do you mean by fillers? What type of fillers? Is it like cliché that we used to hear in English? Or?
Japanese filler?
Yeah.
Japanese filler is, this is my current research interest. But Japanese fillers, conventional fillers is ano, do. So probably many of the people here don't know the Japanese, but I think some of those who attended here have heard the word like ano. And non-native speakers very often, very frequently use this ano because they don't have a huge stock of fillers, discourse markers. But now I'm looking at the native speakers, fillers and discourse markers. They use a great variety of discourse markers.
So if a non-native speaker uses more fillers, who would be rated more native-like than for pronunciation?